The reason that we're here today is, of course, because we do not agree with the Saudi regime's approach to how they have been handling their response to the war so far. Saudi is sitting on one of the largest oil reserves, okay, and they have not even got one bottle of water in aid into Gaza. So we're here today to put pressure on the Saudi regime. So we're here for Gaza, and Saudi are complicit in this genocide. They're allowing passage of arms, and they are supplying fuels to Israel, while Israel has cut off fuel to Gaza and have imposed a siege and do not allow any medical aid. They don't allow food, and they use food as bait to impose several massacres, the latest of which was a flower massacre that happened today.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah.
حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين.
Now, at least 10 children are amputated, with one or more limbs cut off without anesthesia a day. Many died from septic shock. I'm sure you all heard of the reports of the father, who was also a surgeon, having to amputate his own daughter's leg on his kitchen table because there are no hospitals left in northern Gaza. We are seeing civilian deaths, especially children and newborn babies, rise exponentially as a direct result of starvation and no access to water, baby formula, food or medicines. Israel are using varied strategies of warfare to enforce this genocidal Holocaust. They are using military might, ecocide, man-made famine, and ideological warfare to dehumanize and legitimize the eradication of the Palestinians. Meanwhile, the Saudi government are giving lip service to the world, claiming they condemn Israel's genocidal siege and attacks on the Palestinians. However, it has now been 6 months and 40,000 plus killed, nearly half of which are children, with many still under the rebel. Yet Saudi has failed to take affirmative action or any concrete steps to stop further escalation of this genocide. As a leader of the Muslim world, sharing its borders with Palestine, we expect affirmative actions such as blocking the oil supply, passage of weapons and food to Israel, in order for them to come to the peace table for negotiations and put a stop to this war from spreading in the Middle East.
أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون اللهم لا تجعل الدنيا أكبر همنا ولا تجعل مصيبتنا في ديننا اللهم لا تسلط علينا من لا يخافك ولا يرحمنا اللهم ربنا لا تجعلنا فتنة للقوم الظالمين Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَهِنُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَنْتُمُ الْأَعْلَوْنَ. And do not be hopeless, do not feel sad, because they are those who have the upper hand, because they are those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the Palestinians that have woken our faith up. It is the Palestinians that have given us humanity inside our hearts. hearts. He's the Palestinians that have woken our hearts up, because on the streets of London across the world, people are turning towards the reality. And the reality is that this world is nothing but a deception. This world is nothing but a lie. This world is nothing but a temporary place. Those who are the winners are those who stand for the oppressed, those who give zakat, those who give to the arms, to those who have no homes, to shelter to those who have no roof over their heads. The winners are those who believe that there is something, a creator amongst us.
Silent, like Mohammed bin Salman, king of Saudi Arabia, king of a throne that was not appointed to him. Allah is the king of kings. Why is a king? He's supposed to be the custodian of the Holy Land. Where is the custodian of the Holy Land? Where are the custodians of Masjid al-Aqsa? The time of kingship is over. 75 years and 155 days. Enough is enough. If you say you don't understand what's going on in Palestine, then tell me, in what language do 10,000 children need to cry? I saw a father bring the remains of his children to hospital in carrier bags. I saw a boy crying that he couldn't find his school bag. Not because he wanted books, but because he put the remains of his brother inside. I saw doctors stand amongst the dead bodies in the courtyard of Al-Shifa Medical Complex to make a press release telling anyone who will listen about the genocide in front of them. Gaza! 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 Free! Palestine! In our thousands, in our millions! We are all Palestinians! In our thousands, in our millions! Guys, we've got a sister here, she's Palestinian. She is, or is it over 80 years old? She's over 80 years old. She comes to the national marches, she comes to the local rallies, and she comes to dinner with us afterwards. And at the other day, she was leading the Dabka. Okay? So, let's take inspiration from this Palestinian sister and find strength to come and stand in solidarity. She's not only is she 80 years old, but do you realize that she is older than the occupation? She was here. She's the original Palestinian. She is part of the Palestinian diaspora, displaced from her homeland. Okay? Free the people, free the land. No peace on stolen land. No peace on stolen land.
Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tabi. I'm a research scientist. The reason that we're here today outside the Saudi embassy is because Saudi and the kingship are complicit in the genocide of Palestine. While 2.2 million people in Gaza are being starved to death, bombed, inflicted ecocide, genocide, many strategies of war are being used to enforce this genocide. Saudi Arabia are giving lip service to the world, saying on the surface that they do not condone what is happening. However, they do, because they are allowing safe passage of weapons through their lands to support and aid Israel. So they are actually aiding, abetting Israel in the genocide of the Palestinians. Not only that, Saudi Arabia are sitting on one of the largest oil reserves in the world. They are also supplying this oil to Israel, while Israel has effectively cut off fuel, broken all water supply tanks, and actually imposed a siege on food and water from entering Gaza. We're seeing children, pregnant women, babies being starved to death. And in all of this, the so-called leaders of the Arab world, the so-called leaders of the Muslim Ummah are sitting high on their thrones, feasting day after day, while our Palestinian Muslim brothers and sisters are banging on pots and pans, eating dust to break their iftar. Many children are dying of malnutrition. Many mothers are dying of malnutrition also. Their children are being starved to death, but also premature babies are left starved, and also with no oxygen and no medical aid to treat them. We're seeing a horrific genocide, a Holocaust unfolding, and we're here today to call the 22 nations, including the Saudi government, to account, because we have not seen them take affirmative action. We're here today because we want to demand an embargo, an arms embargo, a fuel embargo. This is what should have happened shortly after October the 7th. But instead, we saw the Saudi government celebrating Riyadh season, inviting celebrities from the Western world to party, dancing in their jilbab and khafiyas, while Palestinians are being slaughtered, while children are being slaughtered, while journalists are being slaughtered. 36 hospitals in northern Gaza have been flattened to the ground. Over 470 healthcare workers have been sniped, targeted. Yet here, the Arab leaders are doing nothing. This is unacceptable. The time for affirmative action has happened. We're here today to demand justice, a ceasefire, an embargo for the Saudi government to stop arming Israel, to stop allowing their airspace to be used by Israel, to stop the complicity with the Western governments. We're here to show Mohammed bin Salman a shame to the Muslim Ummah. How can we call him a leader of the Muslim world? He is a puppet of the Western governments, and the Western governments are run by the Israeli lobbyists. We have a leader in power called Rishi Sunak in the UK who was not elected by the public. We know that the British public are on the side of the Palestinians. In a recent YouGov poll, we saw that 76% of the British public are in favour of a ceasefire. So why is it that our UK government are in such a debacle? Now we're seeing fascist comments calling Friends of Aqsa, the Palestinian Forum of Britain and the Palestinian Solidarity Campaign as extremists. The only thing we are guilty of is being extremely kind and extremely concerned for the humanitarian crisis that has been unfolding beneath our eyes. We're here today to demand justice from all the world leaders. Thank you.